Hello everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my garden. Today it just stopped raining, everything is nice and wet, so I just want to make some pesto tonight. It's going to be quick, easy, delicious. So I already picked some from the larger side of the garden. I want to show you, if you come closer, this is one of my plants. I want to show you how you pick your basil. So you could do this with a scissor or just with your thumb. You want to snip the top part because you see the little leaves here, they will continue to grow and become large again. Okay, also when you start seeing that it starts seeding, like right here, that also you want to do that. So again, let's snip right at the bottom and give it the space for the new growth to come in. Okay, same thing here. We're enjoying this right now because in a couple weeks it's gonna start getting colder. You see that? You leave that, that's where the new growth is gonna be. Same thing right here. Maybe you could see it really clear. So you snip the leaves and you leave this to start growing. Okay, so I got quite a bit. I don't think I'm gonna be making everything to show on the video, but meet me inside and let's get started. Okay, I've rinsed the basil a couple times. What I'm going to do is snip the leaves off and use a salad spinner. I find that it's the easiest way to do it. If you don't have a salad spinner, I usually take either paper towel or a kitchen towel and just lay the basil down, and then you would do this to get it dried, okay? Again, I'm using a salad spinner. It makes it easy. What you're going to be doing is just taking the leaves off the stem. Takes a little bit of time, but it's all worth it. Okay, the other thing I just did, I also put the pot of water on for my pasta. So while that's boiling, I'll be making the pesto quickly. Okay, so, all right, take a look. See all the water that came out? Now I'm still going to put it on the cloth, okay? So take a look at this. How many cups do you think it would be? I would say about 4 cups, okay? So for 4 cups, it's gonna be more than enough for for a pound of pasta. But that's okay because the basil keeps very well in the fridge and you can make it again next week. Okay, now let's get started with the ingredients. I'm going to use rock salt. You could use regular sea salt. Use a good quality salt. I have 2 cloves of garlic. I'm actually going to put 1 more because it's more basil than I thought. I have about 40 grams, 3 tablespoons of pinoli nuts. I don't like to toast them. I like them just with that nutty flavor, just the way they are. And I have about 1/3 of a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano. You could use a Pecorino Romano. I like a Parmigiano because it's a gentler, nuttier flavor. In Italy, in Genova, they use a Pecorino cheese, but it's not a Pecorino Romano. It's a gentler goat cheese. Okay, now my water is on. Let's get started. Now, also, couple ways to do this. You could do this with an immersion blender. You could do it in a food processor. But if in Genoa they used a mortar and a pestle, there's got to be a reason. So I don't make it very often. I don't make large amounts. If you're making large amounts where you buy a bushel of basil, go ahead and use the immersion blender or even the food processor. Put everything together. Add your oil last. But since I'm doing a small batch, I really want to show you the authentic way to do this. Okay, first things first, I'm going to put the 2 cloves of garlic. Let me grab 1 more. These are smaller than what I thought, so I'm going to add 1 clove of garlic. I'm going to go ahead and add about a teaspoon of the coarse salt. And I like the coarse salt because when you're grinding with the pestle, that you can hear it all crunching away and creating a delicious paste. Okay, so that's first thing first. You want to crush your garlic and your sea salt. You hear that? Okay, you see how creamy it is? Okay, now you could start with the basil. Now you're gonna add a bunch at a time, okay? As the magic happens, then you keep adding the next batch of another handful of the basil. But you want to create the first creaminess. You want it to be creamy, and then you add the next batch. See how beautiful it is? Okay, now let's go ahead and add the next handful. Of course, if you have a larger mortar and pestle, it's also good, but I have a medium-sized one, which works fine. It just takes a little time, but so worth it. Okay, the last of the leaves are going in. Okay, wow. I wish you could smell the aroma, the freshness of this wonderful basil. If you have a chance and you have a small balcony or a garden, do get some seeds or small plants. It's so rewarding during the summer months. Okay, out of those 4 cups of basil, this is all the pesto we're making. But don't forget, we're adding also other ingredients, so it's going to grow in size. Now, for my Italian friends and my Genovese friends, close your ears. I also like, when I serve the pesto, I like to put a little dab of heavy cream for a different kind of pesto. Also, pesto could be used 1,000 ways. You could spread it over your grilled chicken. You could put it over salad. You could do it over tomato salad. You know, pesto, yes, this is the traditional way, but it really branched off to so many other different recipes too. Okay, now I'm almost ready. It looks creamy and wonderful. I'm going to start adding the pignoli nuts, and I'm going to do a first half and then the next. And the reason for that is that I have better control on crushing them. Time for the cheese. I'm going to add it in twice. Okay. Beautiful. I'm going to lose this a little bit inside. Okay, wonderful. Now, I'm going to remove it into a small bowl, and then I'll add the olive oil. Wonderful. Okay. And now it's time to add the olive oil. You need to move it around because you want to make sure that the olive oil gets well incorporated, and also that helps preserve it if you do put it in the fridge and use it later on. Okay, again, more olive oil. So I'm going to say I put in about 1/2 cup of olive oil. Okay, and here is your pesto alla Genovese. Now, I'm going to make the pasta and put some pesto on it. Today's request was not penne, which would have been my choice, but my daughter said she wanted gnocchi. Okay, sometimes you cannot always make gnocchi from scratch, so I'm using a De Cecco. It's a good quality, it's good enough. So, for tonight, you know, it's late, we want to have dinner, so it's going to work. A couple more minutes for it to boil, and then I'll show you how I'll put it together. Because what you don't want to do is You know the way I always finish cooking my pasta on the stove, with the pasta into whatever I'm cooking? This, you don't want to do that, because the minute you heat up the pesto, it's going to lose its fragrance, its aroma, and it's going to darken in color, so you don't want to do that. So I'm going to cook the gnocchi, drain it, and then mix them with the pesto. I'm going to add some of my pesto and be generous at the bottom of the bowl. Now I'm going to go drain the gnocchi, and I'll be right back. Gnocchi are ready. There you go. A little bit more pesto on top. And watch this. Watch this. Oh. See, when you do the leaves in the mortar with the pesto, it's not a uniform cut as when you use a food processor or the immersion blender, or even a regular blender. In Italy, we used to use that. I remember that. Okay, before I let you go, I need to taste it. Oh boy, oh boy. Not only the taste, but the aroma already. Oh, delicious. Absolutely delicious. Please make it, enjoy it. Enjoy family, enjoy friends. Share food, share love through food. Grazie mille, arrivederci, alla prossima. Ciao, ciao. Wow, absolutely delicious.